Hello, everybody. Welcome into
1 minute until showtime.
welcome into the Computer America Show. Hope we have a terrific show planned for you tonight. In the second hour, we're going to have a company called GOQii, which talks about wearable technology that monitors your health. And in the first hour, we have the CEO of Doodle here with us, Michael Brecht, talking about some exciting news and things that's going on in Doodle. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show as we begin a 2-hour Computer America.
For that second hour, because we're not sure how to say that name either.
Yeah, GOQii. I'm not sure.
GOQii, we assume.
We assume.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live. It's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers. Computer America. Hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello, and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And welcome into the Computer America Show. Got a great program planned for you tonight. Now in the second hour.
And also, I kind of want to say that, because it is becoming more socially acceptable, a couple places have it legalized. Others are using it for marijuana, or are using marijuana for medical purposes only. We want to say happy 420, everyone.
Oh, what's 420?
See, Craig is one of those fuddy-duddies, so he does not know what 420 is. 420 is the international, or probably national or international, Marijuana Appreciation Day.
Oh, I didn't know they had that. I know they had National Donut Day, and
because a 420 is, you know how officers, like police officers, use the codes.
10-4.
Yeah. Well, like a 930 or whatever. A code 420 is marijuana. So they kind of took it as April 20th being 4-20 in the calendar. They turned that into Pot Appreciation Day.
Okay, well, happy 420 Day. Thanks for that. And
the more you know.
The worse it gets. I know. So, we are, as I said, we got in the second hour of the show, we're going to have a company, and I don't even know how to pronounce the name. I think you pronounce it GOQii. GOQii. I think anyway, they're
who knew 5 letters could trip you up?
Yes, exactly. We're going to have the company's CEO on the program talking about wearable technology and health monitoring. They have some interesting stuff that they're going to be talking about in the second hour. And if we have time, also we'll have some computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. Just before we get started, how's your graphics card working? You happy with it? I know that you've had it like about a week.
It is still working. So as long as it's not crashed or dead, I'm happy. Waiting a couple days and then I'll be getting an SLI cable, putting up the second one, and everyone's saying, oh, it's why bother? The Titan's strong enough for anything you want to do. Why not? So I can't wait to do that. But I mean, honestly, everything I'm doing, this thing, like the case's cooling fan, because it has a sensor for the inside of the case, and that'll rev up as soon as the case temperature gets too hot, has not started up once since I put the Titan graphics card in there. So
yeah, the Titan X.
Titan X. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's a $1,000 graphics card that was given to him by NVIDIA, and this is an amazing graphics card. So
I would recommend it. I think I would. Maybe pick up 2. Just whatever's within your budget. Just 1 or 2.
There you go. All right. Well, let's get to it. We got lots to talk about, and I'm very excited about our guest here tonight in this first hour. Now, as you probably know, or at the very least, you can certainly understand that scheduling a time for a meeting or any appointment with a group of people, it can be frustrating and a time-consuming process. But it doesn't have to be that way. Doodle radically simplifies the process of scheduling events, whether they're board or team meetings, dinners with friends, reunions, weekend trips, or anything else for that matter. Doodle offers a wide selection of online solutions that radically simplify the process of scheduling appointments. It's just that simple. These can be ranging from group event polls that don't require registration to the professional booking service. And now they keep making it better and better and better. And now you can use Doodle with their exciting new iPhone app that they have just introduced. Now, here with us all the way from Zurich is Michael Brecht. Michael is the CEO of Doodle. Michael, welcome back into Computer America. How are you?
Good evening to you, Craig. Hello, Ben. I'm very well, and I'm back in Europe. Last time we spoke, it's a few weeks ago, I think. I was in New York City with all the sirens behind me.
Yes.
Because it was late at night, and now I'm actually in Berlin at the moment.
Oh,
so
in Berlin.
Here we go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We just opened an office here about 3 months ago, or 2.5 months ago, and I really enjoy the big city here in the hub of what the Europeans like to be called as the Internet hub for Europe.
Wow.
Does it still have that new office smell?
Does it still have the new office smell? I guess Ben wanted to know.
To be honest with you, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm in a hotel room at the moment. It's a different smell in this, but the new office smell is certainly there. That's for sure, Ben.
Well, I got to tell you, we're always pleased to have you on the program, and I've always been very, how should I say, intrigued and excited about the Doodle app, what it can do for you, and but for the benefit of those people who are just joining us for the first time, and it happens, all the time. Why don't you, in your own words, tell our listeners exactly what Doodle is all about?
Yeah, I'd love to do that, Craig. Well, in today's world, with so many dates, schedules happening at the same time, globally on the phone, but physically with your friends or business colleagues, the normal process of sending emails or other utilities around, such as a WhatsApp invite or anything like that, are, I'd say, suboptimal. It's actually a pain to use if you have 10 colleagues to get around a table to have a meeting. So therefore, we decided a few years ago, and it was actually, there were 2 Swiss engineers from Zurich who decided to create Doodle.com as a scheduling tool to actually make life easier for you. And they've created Doodle to have a very, very easy 3-step process. All you do is go on Doodle.com.
Well, now I'll tell you what, Michael. Are you there? Because what I'm gonna ask you to do, I think, is turn your camera off. Michael, we're having some bandwidth problems on your end, so I'm going to suggest that you turn your camera off, and then I think we'll be able to hear you better. If you could just go up to the top there and turn the camera off, and disengage that, I think we'll get the additional bandwidth. We'll get the audio to come through.
Only about every third word's coming through. So Berlin's internet center of Europe, and apparently it's not woken up yet.
And
Michael, if you can hear me, we'd like for you to turn your camera off. There's some you're losing bandwidth, and we can't understand what you're saying. So if you could just go to your Hangout screen and click on the little camera icon. There you go. Now let's see if that works. See if that is any better. Michael, can you hear us now? Nope. We're having some technical difficulties, and it happens from time to time, especially when you're in a
live broadcast. That's one of the magic.
Yeah. When you're in a hotel, also, someone might all of a sudden switch on some video, and then in another room, and you can't hear. So we're going to ask Michael to. There he's trying to join us again. Michael, are you there? Can you hear us now? No. Okay. Well.
I'm back.
You're back. Yeah, we can hear you.
That.
Yeah, no, that's okay. What I was going to suggest you, if this happens again, then you might want to call the phone number that I gave you, and see, because the internet seems to be a little spotty there. It's you're in a hotel, everything is fine, but then someone will start watching Netflix, and that can eat into the bandwidth. So, no, keep the camera off. I think that's better if you keep the camera turned off, Michael. Okay.
I mean, no offense. We think you're a beautiful, beautiful man. It's just right now, video does take up quite a bit more bandwidth than just voice. So we're going to try to go with that.
Michael, can you hear us now? No, he's got an internet problem.
So yes, Michael Breck, Doodle, CEO of Doodle. He is joining us, and hopefully, as soon as we get this all sorted out, we'll dive right into it.
Well, I think we gave him a phone number to call in, and I think that's what we're going to have to do. Again, technical glitches, they happen, especially it's 4 in the morning where he is, and it's probably not very many people using it at 4 in the morning. But however, people are beginning to wake up, and they're turning on their internet, and it probably just eats into that. So
4 in the morning. That's about the time I go to bed.
Yeah, I know. Same here. We're late.
And no, that is not post-production auto-tune on his voice. That is simply poor bandwidth.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
while we have a second, I thought, wondering if you caught the new Jurassic World trailer.
No, I have not. I saw the Batman versus Superman trailer.
Batman versus Superman and the new Star Wars trailer both came out before last weekend, but the new Jurassic World came out today.
How does it look? I haven't seen it yet.
Chris Pratt, you may know him from Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
He is the leader, or he's like the lead, the lead role. And I mean, I think Chris Pratt himself, he had a line in the commercial when he said himself, you don't have to bioengineer dinosaurs. They're freaking dinosaurs. They're interesting enough. And then they go about this whole, they go about the whole commercial, and it's like, dude, just show us dinosaurs. That's what, that's why we're gonna come see it, because dinosaurs are awesome.
Michael, we see you again. You're trying to contact. Can you hear us now, Michael?
Yes, hear me?
I'm saying you're having spotty internet. We can barely hear you. I suggest you can try using the phone to call. Oh, there he goes again. Hopefully he'll make the phone.
There he goes again.
So anyway, Jurassic Park.
Jurassic World.
Jurassic. Oh, they're not.
It is a reboot in spirit, but it doesn't act like Jurassic Park never happened. Jurassic Park happened. This is like 20, 30 years in the future, where Jurassic Park was a success. They reopened it, and now it's a theme park where they just keep opening new attractions, new attractions, new attractions. This is what would be like if Jurassic Park had expanded 30 years into the future, and now you have Jurassic World.
Exactly. Now, obviously, I thought the CGI and everything they did back in Jurassic Park, the original version, was outstanding.
See, but that's just the thing that they use very, very limited CGI back then, and that's why it still holds up so well. That's why it still holds up so well nowadays, is because they use so many robots and mechanical stuff and practical effects than they did, in future movies. Because back then the CGI was just terrible. It was garbage. So, but like the actual machines and stuff like that, that's why like the T-Rex face and stuff like that actually look good and still looks good today because they actually made them.
Hmm. Wow.
And they're definitely going to be doing more of that. Like it won't be completely CGI; it'll be very heavy CGI, but they should be using some machines as well in the new one, which is good.
Okay. Same premise though. They find him in amber or something, and they take the DNA from the amber.
Again, no, this is not a reboot. This is 20, 30 years after the events of Jurassic Park.
Okay.
So there's no need to reboot it. I mean, dinosaurs exist and they live there, and they have a giant theme park now around dinosaurs.
Okay.
It's not a reboot. They don't need to start over at the Amber.
Right. And what could go wrong with a park?
Instead, they decided to genetically modify dinosaurs to make them bigger, smarter, faster, more deadly.
Hey, what's wrong with that? What could go wrong?
And then enter Jurassic Worlds, and that's pretty much what the premise is going to be. It's
Bigger, stronger.
Just like the original one was, the problem with playing God and the problem with, messing with nature. Same thing, same premise with this one, except now you just have a bioengineered giant dinosaur.
Okay. I keep saying, what could go wrong?
And honestly, like they only showed like quick snippets of the thing, but it was like twice the size of a T-Rex with like the intelligence of a Velociraptor. Like this thing was just like crazy. So, shaping up to be a good movie though. I'm actually looking forward to that one.
All right, excellent. Okay. I think Mike, are you there? We see you, Mike. I'm gonna hold up the thing here. Call. And see if this will work, and see if he can see that. I'm gonna.
Worst case, if this keeps going on, we're going to have to reschedule him for another time, and maybe even do.
Okay.
But yeah, no, we have to reschedule him.
I think he got the hint. I think he saw him. I wrote a note to call in 347-884. So I think he's going to call into the show.
Really high tech stuff here. We're we have access to the internet, chat rooms, modern marvels, and piece of paper and a pencil. Hey, call in. It's as good as it gets.
It works sometimes, You have to just write it down and say. So he's going to call in, and I think that's what's going to happen. And then we'll continue on with them. So Beth says that in the chat room that she says that she thinks Jurassic World sounds like a dumb movie to her.
Yeah, and she is not alone in that feeling, but I think this year it's going to be like my childhood. And I feel like it's going to be a lot of people's childhood, kind of reimagined, because in the same year you get like seriously within a year's time you get Batman versus Superman movie.
Mm-hmm.
You get a new Marvel movie, you get a new Avengers movie. You get a new Jurassic Park.
I got it. All right, let's bring him on. Let's see if this works now.
Okay.
Computer America. Hey, Michael, are you there?
Yes, I seem to have been lost, and now I'm on my good old phone.
Yeah,
so
the good old
I'm
phone.
sorry about that.
Not a problem. These things technical glitches do happen. That's why we have some backups, and certainly the phone interview will suffice. And I think you sound like you have a very good connection. So I'm sorry about that, but let's pick things up. You were starting to tell us, our listeners, about Doodle and what it does and the ease of use of trying to coordinate schedules, groups, meetings. Correct?
That's right.
So
absolutely, and we've seen some very nice pickup. I mean, since the business started about 8 years ago, we now have about 25 million users using Doodle per month. And that
crazy.
Is around the globe a very nice number to actually get themselves into the position to no longer use emails to and fro, but really enjoy the ease of scheduling something within a few seconds of your time of the day. We actually save per doodle or per poll that is generated 15 minutes in average. We did a study with the university lately, and imagine if you have 4 meetings to schedule for businesses per day, you already saved an hour. So imagine how much time that could save you in a business year or business month. Now the real use of Doodle in the US is basically a business case. We have so many customers who use it to organize meetings within bigger corporations, but also very small business environments. So if you are a web designer somewhere in Chicago, but you have clients in New York and Los Angeles, all you do is just set up a Doodle to have appointments, business appointments to be done through Doodle, and it doesn't cost you a thing. So just go on and use the free version. If you'd like to display a bit more and get some nice features on top into your scheduling, you can use the premium solution that we've got out there. And so that's what Doodle is, yes.
Yeah, exactly. And again, it makes it so easy. Now, and Doodle basically integrates with your calendar. How does it go about doing that? So if you want to do schedules, how does Doodle actually integrate with your calendar?
Well, again, let's take that example where you have a business meeting scheduled with, say, six appointment or six people joining you for that appointment. Instead of actually writing all those 6 people and the location and the type of meeting and everything down in your own diary, we allow you to do that with one push of a button, and it's part of our premium functionality where you can actually use the one-click facility to actually export whatever you've organized through Doodle into your calendar, whether that would be a Google Calendar or through an ICS feed or etc. So you have plenty of connections with calendars out there, and it's a very useful tool to again save you time and the hassle of writing everything down into your diary with your own words, so to speak.
Right. Now, one of the things that I understand that you've incorporated some new features, and you now can schedule multi-day events. Like conferences, workshops, and holiday trips. Can you expand a little bit more on this new feature?
Yeah, well, we have so many event managers throughout the world that actually use Doodle to get their events scheduled with the help of Doodle. And I guess one of the feedbacks we received last year was that Doodle, which was initially only aimed at one-day appointments, it would be nice to have those to actually cover a few slots of a few days. For example, a wedding, which would take with the first part of the party to start on Friday and then go over to Saturday or even Sunday, and to actually incorporate that in one Doodle. Would be a nice feature for event managers or anybody who's kind of keen to schedule something across a few days. And we really brought that out because of the customer feedback we received. We're kind of listening to a lot that we get in terms of feedbacks through our support facility, and most of the global effect of those things is not necessarily a Swiss or a German or an American approach. Those event managers are actually working globally with the same demands. So we thought, well, that's probably a good idea to actually start launching that. And we launched that in the US and in Canada a few days ago, or a few weeks ago, actually. And we can see some tremendous results out of that feature coming to help organize events of several days.
Yeah, I can understand that as well, because now the whole idea, I think, are you like walking a little bit of a tightrope here? Because one of the main things that I love about Doodle is its simplicity. It's so easy to use. I mean, you don't have to break open a manual. It's intuitive. It's very simple. Are you worried that as you begin to add more features that you might lose that simplicity, or what are you doing to make sure that anybody can use Doodle without having to crack a manual? Because I know you are.
The effect, and I think you're right. I mean, the one thing we can really do is we can help you easily schedule an appointment, and that's what we are, and that's what we do. So the focus will always be on scheduling that appointment, whether that be with 2 people, 3 people, or 15 or even 150 people. It's the scheduling of that appointment which we really know how to handle well. We're not going to move away from that point. So therefore, we will keep life very easy and simple. And in order to tell you a little bit about growth, I mean, for us, the growth is not to change away from that scheduling, but the growth is in making that useful across all different platforms. So whereas in the last years, Doodles were really used on the desktop, we've seen a tremendous upsurge last year on mobile use cases. And that was the time when we said, well, why don't we then make sure that Doodle is actually usable across the mobile screens at the same time as you could use it as people did in the past through your desktop. But to keep it simple and to keep it really and easy without the manual tool or application, that will always be in the core of our interest.
All right, and that's important. And so what we're talking about some of the new features like the multiple days and everything, and of course you mentioned the mobile. And one of the exciting things that you just introduced is the ability to use Doodle with your mobile device. You just introduced the iOS version. It's called Doodle Schedule Maker, and you can download this in iTunes. It's available. It's free, and I want you to tell our listeners what the Doodle Schedule Maker on the iOS platform allows people to do.
Yeah, well, we had an iOS app for about 3 years, and really looking into that let's call it old app, 3 years. Our previous app was really intended as a mobile companion for heavy Doodle users in the past. Now, with this surge of mobile use cases last year, we really said we need to actually have something better. We need to get us out into that, I call it the more social environment, and get a mobile device solution out there, which is really sort of not kind of only reflecting what the desktop can do, but which would really stand up on itself and help people manage their time on the go, if you say. So the result now is that we've created a brand new experience for the iPhone. And here you will find it easy to schedule with a group of people and do that right from the place of your mobile device. So we did not try to just kind of show what the desktop shows, but to really incorporate some of the mobile technologies and functionalities. It stays free and it is available today. And we're working on improving that. It's always the question when you launch an application, do you want to bring it out with 120% of its features? Or do you want to start it and it will be able to reflect what you think is really necessary for a start and then continue improving it, in particular while incorporating your customers' feedback. So we've done the second part, we've done the second step and said, well, let's get it out and incorporate feedback. And we're absolutely overwhelmed by the very positive feedbacks we've received. I mean, the usages went up amazingly since last week. We've just started last week, Thursday.
Wow.
And now you have Doodle at your fingertips on the mobile as well. It's iOS only so far, just to be calming down fears of Android users. We will have the Android solution in June, and we're currently working on it. But it's a different setup. It's a different solution. So therefore, we need a few more weeks to get the Android version on itself, standing up on its own. But we've started with iOS, and again, we're working on that one too. And the team to do all that and to realize all this functionality is actually based here in Berlin, where I'm at the moment.
And was it intentional that you focused first on iOS and then Android? Was it intentional or just kind of worked out that way?
Well, it just worked out that way. In the past, our apps until end of last year actually were not cost-free, and we've changed that. And probably because of that that charge. We had more iOS users in the past, but I'm completely open on this because I do truly believe that this mobile device is the device of the future for us all to take Doodle out and use it on the go and use it out in the street. And therefore, we've just started with one device, and it just worked out that way.
Okay.
There is no kind of a preference from my side on that.
What I want to do is that we're at the bottom of the hour, and but I want to go over some of the key features for the iOS app, because there are quite a number of them, and I want listeners to understand what kind of power this gives you. All right. So stay with us. You're listening to the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network, on the IRN Radio Network. Michael Brex, CEO of Doodle, is here. 347-884-8881 will get you on and get you through. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We have a brand new News Tips Bullet review from Marty Winston. That's all coming up here on the Computer America Show. We will be right back.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-866-663-MyTV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So, disable the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-866-663-MyTV right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and up to 4 rooms. And there's no equipment to buy. That includes your free HD TV upgrade, your free DVR upgrade, and your free professional installation. And the best part, the pristine digital picture and sound. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. So, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. 1-866-663-MyTV. Disable the cable, cut costs, and get more. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. 1-866-663-MyTV.
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? That's so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they are available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
I see you. This is Marty Winston with the News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time the VTech Connect-to-Cell cordless phone. The styling of the VTech LS6191-17 Connect-to-Cell cordless answering system with caller ID, call waiting. That entire long name won't tell you why I like this a lot. Is a modernistic salute to the desk phones of the 1950s, absent the coiled cord. The DECT 6 handset cradles much like the classics, but in this case it charges in its cradle. Both handset and base offers speakerphone, caller ID, and other cool functions. You can also pair it with your mobile to make both kinds of calls from one place. This is extra handy if you have to put your mobile somewhere without a comfortable seat, just to have enough bars to have service. Available Android or BlackBerry apps help you import up to 200 contacts. You can pick a ringtone and volume, configure the answering system, or turn it off, which we like, and more. Bottom line, while the feature set, specs, and performance of the VTech Connect-to-Cell LS6191-17 cordless phone may justify your interest, its looks are what will drive you to wanting to own one. This is Marty Winston with the News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. It is 33-ish minutes past the hour. I don't know. I probably should get a watch. And yeah, so welcome back. We're talking to Michael Brecht right now. He is the CEO of Doodle, a very nice, neat, tidy scheduling app and well, now it's on mobile as well, so it really truly is an app as well as a desktop application or a cloud application. But yeah, we're just getting into the new mobile part of the app that he just that the company just introduced. And honestly, I've been waiting for this one for a while now, because I know so many people that use their smartphones as their main scheduling device. Like, they have Google Calendars, or they have, or maybe if they use an iPhone, they have the Apple Calendars, what have you, and they put all their appointments, they put all their deadlines, they put all of their social obligations, they put all of it into one place, into one calendar, and then they kind of, and then they can go from there. And with Doodle, I'm assuming that you're going to, just like you were saying, where you could release it with 120% of the features right out of the gate. I'm glad that you kind of went the route of making sure that it all works and it all syncs up. Does it work with most of the popular calendar apps and stuff like that, so it can integrate itself? Because something like this, I would assume integration would trump most of I mean, the service is great. It's just integration is also going to be one of the biggest parts of this app.
Yeah, Ben, I think you're right. It's quite important to actually get people that are so connected these days when they are out on the road to actually not kind of start changing within different apps, or to communicate within one item, such as the scheduling of an event. So we made sure that there are two things which are so much used today by millions of people that are actually working already now in that first version. And the first one is the integration of your contact base, because you really want to, and that's what I also like about using my smartphone for, is that I have all my contacts with me all the time. So whenever I want to schedule something, I actually just type in the names and have my contact base connected with Doodle on the go. That's a first connection, which is really important. The second one is the one that you were mentioning in terms of getting calendars or getting doodles into your calendar. Again, this is a feature that we have in our premium solution, and it's really used as a powerful tool to actually get whatever you've organized and scheduled out into your diary and into your calendar, so that you are up to date with all the appointments that you've made through Doodle. So these are two functionalities we use on the desktop. We also made sure that they are from the start in our app solution on the mobile, or in our iOS solution at the moment. There is one add-on which we really got as feedback from users, which was that people really start or wanted to have and stay connected through a functionality that helps them communicate on top of the schedules themselves. So let's take an example. If you have set up appointments with, say, 5 people for say the US time tomorrow, 10 o'clock in the morning, you would have that doodle to be exported into your diaries. That's an easy one. And now at 10 to 10 tomorrow morning, you realize you're in a traffic jam, so you might be running late. What happened in the past? You would have had to change for the communication to exactly those 5 people that you're meeting with. And you needed to, for example, call them or send them an SMS. Now that is changing from now on. It's because we've built a messaging functionality into the Doodle world, because it's now an interface which allows you to send messages to exactly that group within your Doodle through a push notification saying, listen guys, I'm really sorry, I'm going to be 15 minutes late, start the introduction or get yourselves a cup of coffee or whatever would be the point to actually communicate to. So instead of changing communication facilities such as using the telephone or so, you would be able to actually, from the Doodle, from your own system, can communicate out there to the people that you've addressed in your Doodle. And that is a new functionality that came up in terms of feedbacks from users that said that would be really nice to actually just stay within this app and stay within that one solution. We've incorporated that right from the very start, and we can see usage statistics are going through the roof at the moment with that functionality.
Wow. You know, sometimes
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Yeah, just takes that one thing that everybody loves, and
Well, no, it's that. Well, it's one thing that everyone loves, but I mean, when you've kind of built up your life around using you know, some kind of messaging app, some kind of calendar app. I mean, you know, people may be knocking left and right with, you know, this is better, this is better, this is new, this is different, and you know, that may be great and all, but hey, if they don't need it, then you know, why would they switch over if they're used to using what they do? So I think, you know, Doodle did something great there with, hey, you know, you don't have to be locked into our ecosystem. We'll come to you. You know, we'll integrate ourselves with you, and just like you said, I have no doubt that people are going to be using you like crazy because you work with them and not trying to get them to switch over.
and people don't like change. I mean, people are always resistant to change. You know, if they're comfortable with something, why? You know, if they don't have to, they don't want to relearn something else, even though it may be easy. So the fact that you know, you're not forcing them to do that, Michael, is really a good thing. Beth in the chat room, just I know Ben answered it, but I want you to because it's if one person asks, obviously, you know, thousands are probably thinking the same thing. She wanted to know, is Doodle free all the time, or just a 30-day trial, or what is? Can you speak a little bit about what the cost for Doodle? She wasn't clear.
Doodle itself is free, and it has the advantages of allowing you with those 3 different clicks to actually organize any kind of appointment, whether you want to schedule that with your 3 best friends, or whether you would like to invite 150 of your family or university or alumni into one appointment. It is not it is completely free on that side. If you want to use some additional functionalities, such as the export of the calendar or using some branding opportunities with your own doodles on your desktop, then you pay us a small fee of $39 a year as an entry fee for that license. However, the basic functionality is completely free.
All right, so there it is. So in other words, you can add more functionality to it if and when you want to, but the Doodle itself is free, and which clears that up. Okay, good. One, make sure she understands that. And again, the app also the same. Whether you're using it on your computer or on the mobile app, same idea.
Same idea, and that's what we changed in comparison to last year. The app today is completely free for use. It just starts when you use certain premium functionalities that you need to go premium with it.
Right.
But to really schedule a basic appointment and really get started on it, that's a product that is for free. In the US, we have a solution which allows you for free to test the premium functionality for a few days, just to see whether this is for you. But here again, you can decide at the end of this trial period whether you really want to continue with that or not. So it's just a free trial that we offer you guys in the US to just see whether this is for you or not.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the key features of the iOS app. Obviously, you can create and access your schedules and polls now anytime and anywhere, because as long as you've got your phone with you, and who doesn't these days, you have access to that. So that's a wonderful thing. So the next feature, you say you can easily participate in any poll by tapping on its participation link anywhere on your iPhone, like for example, in Mail, for example. So can you explain a little bit more?
Yeah, well, basically there are two kinds of users. The first one is the user that initiates the poll, so the one that wants to get that appointment scheduled or organized. And the other one is the case that you've been just mentioning, which is the one that just participates. So again, if you have this appointment with 5 or 6 people to be organized for sometime next week, as an initiator, you run the poll on doodle.com. But as someone who's just asked, can you do it on such and such and such a date? You're the one that just participates. You can do that with one click on your phone. It's very, very easy. And this is where obviously most of the traffic for us comes from, because in an average, we have about 10 participants in the US per poll. So there's one who organizes, and if we have an average of 10, there are 9 others who participate in the poll itself. They just need to answer it with one click on their phone. So it's really, really easy. They don't even need the app to be downloaded. You can use our mobile functionality or our mobile web solution.
Sure.
However, with the app, you obviously have some nice add-on features. And once you start initiating your own polls and organizing your own schedules, then the app is really useful. And here you have all those different functionalities, such as the Calendar Connect or the connection with your contact base that we've just been talking about.
Right, and the nice thing, obviously, one of the key things about your smartphone is that you have so many of your phone addresses and contacts are there. And my understanding is that the mobile app for Doodle will actually integrate and pull that information from your address book for easy invitations.
Exactly. That's the nice thing about it. I mean, Ben was just pointing that out earlier. I think he's absolutely right. People are getting used to using their smartphone as a private or business tool for so many things these days. It is more and more becoming their tool of work, or their tool to actually get out and do things such as managing their contact bases or managing their calendars, and to have Doodle in between to actually organize group appointments is exactly what we are seeing in our traffic, but also what we are aiming to make easier for people that are out there on the go. So our aim is to really be out there with them on their smartphone, and to really make use of the contacts and the calendars, where we basically sit in the middle. So we are the engine to make happen that contacts that are in your contact base, that you get to meet them and that you get to see them, and that's what Doodle is all about.
Yeah, I mean,
it's always nice to hear that I'm right. Thank you for that.
Well, I mean, I remember, it was only a couple of years ago or 2-3 years ago that to get Ben to have a smartphone, he says, I don't need it. I have no use for it. And now, you couldn't pry it from his cold dead fingers. I mean,
and then you can watch YouTube on it. I'm like, what? Yes, sir. I need that.
But I think that goes to say, I mean, smartphones are becoming more integrated into everybody's lifestyles, and because of that, I think this.
Well, everyone's just getting so much busier, so it's nice to have something in your pocket that you can schedule stuff on, and be it for business, home, work, whatever.
Right.
There's just so much stuff to keep up with, so you need it.
You need it. That's it. And again, this integration, for example, if you need to clarify some details, I understand you have a feature so you can have a chat right then and there and discuss upcoming events with the people you're inviting.
Yeah, I have these two ideas in the back of my mind. The one thing we've been talking about was the communication to the ones that are in your poll. I mean, there are other tools out there who have been in use to actually communicate to groups where you can actually talk directly to them. Now, the advantage of Doodle in that case is that you really have already organized your appointment with, say, those 5 people that I was mentioning before. So with that group, it is very, very easy, because it's just, again, one click to communicate directly. No need to set up a specific group in a tool or to type out all these email addresses or anything. Again, you've done it all, so it's all in your poll. Why not communicate straight away through push notifications with this group? There's another case which I can see. For example, I'm in Berlin actually at the moment since last night. I will be probably able to communicate to my 30 contacts that I have in Berlin, saying, well, listen guys, I'm in Berlin. How about a glass of wine tomorrow night? Where shall we meet and how shall we do this? So it's a more open communication to actually get that Doodle or the use of Doodle to be going to then schedule that appointment with my contacts here in Berlin. Again, that can happen through the same system. They would all get a message on their mobile screen, and it would be a communication within the poll itself, within Doodle, to actually make that happen. So there are those two cases: the open case, which allows you to communicate on top of your poll itself with your colleagues or friends, and the other one is the one where you already have made up your schedule or your appointment, and to communicate with people that you actually identified to be communicating within that one schedule. And we've really received that feedback from users that it would be awesome to get that functionality in there. And as I said, we've just launched a few days ago, and within those few days, I mean, our usage rates have gone really through the roof because people really love using this functionality because it's so easy. It's so you stay within the same process. You don't have to type any other names in there. It's just your group that you've been talking to before in the Doodle.
And also, you can within the Doodle you can push updates. So in other words, you can help people stay on top of things. They don't have to do something. You can just push the information out to them right to their devices, their phones.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and the information is where you need them, like exactly with the people that you've been making your appointment with. So it's not about how did I get everybody on there. Like if you have a Doodle with 30 people as an event manager and you want to communicate to those 30 people, you don't have to think, well, did I get all 30 on that list, or did I have to follow up this and that? No, you just communicate straight away forward. It's just one click, and you have communication going out to exactly that group that you were identifying to be part of your Doodle. And I think it's really simple. Again, we're trying to be useful and not to make life complicated. We're taking this complication out of your scheduling.
Right. That's what I love about it. You know, there's that old thing. I love this. He said, the old saying, say, "Are you racked by indecision?" And he goes, "Well, yes and no." So there's that, but maybe yes or no isn't enough sometimes, because I understand you can let people also answer with a maybe, which I think is kind of cool.
Yes, yeah, it's kind of cool because again, it allows people who are not sure yet about whether they can be participating or not to say, well, maybe I can do this. I can switch something else around if this is an important meeting. I can maybe come, and if all the others, and that's the beauty of Doodle, of seeing whether the others can participate or not. Now, if you answer with maybe, it allows others to say, okay, let's stick to that date, and he can then change his other appointment to make it happen, make it a yes. It's a functionality that's been used more and more often, and I like it because it leaves that kind of flexibility. A yes or no is really black and white, whereas the maybe allows some room for, yes, I could move something else and be part of your meeting here. So it's a nice feature, and it's coming along nicely with the app as well, because you can just tap on that button, and again, it's very easy to use.
And it also lets the person, gives them a little elbow room, a little flexibility, because they might really want to say yes, but I got to check something else, but I don't want to say no either, because that cuts me off. So there's got to be something I could do, and obviously maybe means okay. Well, there's a possibility. Let me just check, and then so at least it doesn't totally cancel it out, for that person who may want to join it, and so that is really nice to be able to do that. Now I'm also looking at some of the key features here now, and we're talking again about the Doodle app for the iPhone, and it's available now, and it is completely free, and so now the other key features is, it says here, log in or register with your Doodle account, Google or Facebook, to stay in sync with your web dashboard. Now, can you expand a little bit on that? What you mean by that?
Yeah, sure. At the end of the day, the mobile has its own solutions, and it might not necessarily be connected to your laptop because you might use a business laptop for certain things, etc. So we said, well, there is no, it's not necessary, but there is a possibility to actually have you connected with your own profile, and therefore all the data from other schedules that you've done either in your private environment or as a business person are actually connected to your profile, and you can actually import them or get them onto your mobile screen at the same time. So therefore you can actually make use of everything that you've scheduled through Doodle with your profile, which is very useful because yes, you can use it without the profiling and then have create new doodles all the time. But however, wouldn't it be nice to actually know, well, I've done that other doodle with that group, so why don't I use that same group for another doodle, or just find out whether I had availability myself and check that with my calendar. So the profile itself allows you to really connect your mobile to other screens that you've been using with Doodle, and it's a nice interconnection. It's that missing link between your mobile and the desktop itself.
No, that is nice. So basically, now if you have premium Doodle, then with the Doodle mobile app, you can, I think Ben touched a little bit about this, you can have connected calendars available right in the app itself without having to leave it, which I think is really, really slick. Can you talk a little bit more on that, please?
Yeah, that's the slick solution, which is the premium solution. It's really, if you have mobile and you are a mobile user on the desktop, you just basically you log in on the mobile solution and just use the mobile solution as if it would be your premium solution on the desktop. All the calendars are connected, so therefore you can basically just use it as if you're on the go with you, as if you would carry your desktop with you, but you still have it all in your smartphone. And the Calendar Connect is really a very nice useful tool to actually really make sure that you're not having double ups in your calendar or diaries.
Oh yeah.
And the premium solution is made for that. It's made for that. Busy people who have lots of calendar entries, and just get them on one finger click or one press of the button to have them into your calendar, those new doodles. That's a nice feature to use, and we really have millions of users who use it around the globe.
There's nothing worse than scheduling something and having a duplication of that or something. That's certainly getting everything consolidated into one little app that's on your phone from your computer. Everything's currently synced. That's the best way to do it. I know that you mentioned there's an Android app coming out available. Now I understand all things are a work in progress, but can you speak? We only have a few minutes left, Michael. A little bit about what's next with the Doodle. What we can expect to see.
Well, you mentioned the Android app coming up in June, if all things go well. Then we also have an iPad app coming up, most likely in May. So we try to make sure that Doodle is available on all these screens and available for you. So iOS is available now, iPad in May, and Android in June. With that, I'm really, this was my mission to get this out for people to start using this year, because we've seen such a tremendous surge in mobile traffic last year, and to really make that happen on state-of-the-art solutions. That's what Doodle is for me. Doodle for me is a productivity tool, but we're also a tool which help you to really make your life easy, and to do that on all these screens and take it out on the road with those mobile devices. That's my mission for this year, and I'm really keen to see how people will use Doodle to manage their time on the go. That's what my mission is about this year.
Yeah.
And we have some very nice features coming up on the iPhone solution that we've just launched. So there will be new releases coming up. We have some very nice features for the iPad version, and obviously for the Android app itself, there will be some nice features. And it's not going to happen all overnight. This will be a stage process. So let's make sure that we will wait for those things to come up.
And
but it's all in the process, you know.
And you're going to have that is it going to have that cross compatibility? So if I have an iPhone and one of my people that's has an Android version, it's still all going to work together. Whatever on my iPhone, on mine, he'll see on his Android or his iPad. Correct?
That's right.
Exactly. Well, all right.
Exactly.
All right. Well, listen, Michael, again, well, I want to thank you so much for being with us here tonight on the program. I realize it's early. We're going to, for the next one's coming up, well, now that we have the recording ability, we'll be able to do that. You won't have to get up so early every time you're on here.
No worries.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to having you on the program again. All right?
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me, and sorry for that hiccup with the communication before. I'm happy that we had the time to chat a little bit about Doodle, and looking forward to speaking to you guys again.
Excellent. All right, Michael. Take care. Have a good evening. Good night. Bye bye.
Thank you.
All right. You're listening to the Computer America Show. We've got GOQii coming up next. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Broadcasting live, it's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@computeramerica.com.
Hello and welcome into Hour 2 of the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And again, thanks to Michael Brecht for being with us here and telling us about Doodle and the new Doodle mobile app for the iPhone. And as you heard, in June, it'll be available for the Android platforms. In May, it'll be available for the iPad, all working with each other, platform independent. Again, if you're looking for a really terrific solution to make schedules with multiple people and the headaches that go along with that, you got to check out Doodle. It's free, and it really makes that process a very simple one. Okay. All right, so again, it's Hour 2 of the Computer America Show, and thanks to all of you for joining us. If you have a comment or question about anything we're talking about, give us a call at 347-884-8881. That's 347-884-8881. I'll get you through. Email is live, L-I-V-E, at computeramerica.com. You can also join us in our live interactive chat room from our homepage at computeramerica.com. Click the chat/live video, and you'll be able to, on the left-hand side there, you'll see the entry form for the chat room. Just pick a username. That's the name you'll be known by when you go in there. Click the connect button, and your browser will move you into the chat room. And sharing that same page on the right-hand side is our live Computer America video, where you can actually stream. You can actually watch the show. You can listen to us, and you can also watch us. So that's all available at ComputerAmerica.com. Again, thanks to Michael Brecht, CEO of Doodle, for joining us tonight. So, Ben, what's going on?
Waiting for our friend over from GOQii to get here, who is actually here. So,
yes, he is. All right.
Yeah. So, if you're asking me what's going on, personally, not much, but you know.
All right. Well, we'll have him join us now here momentarily, Yeah,
like honestly, I wish we had a bit more time to talk to Doodle. We kind of lost about 10-15 minutes there at the beginning of the show due to technical difficulties, but Yeah, I mean, yes, they're a sponsor. You can hear their ad at the beginning of the first or the middle of the first hour. But besides that, we use the app, and the app is free to use, easy to use.
Yep.
Just check it out. Really, like you said, the app itself is free, so why not? It's no paywalls, no crap like that. Just check it out. It's really, really nice.
All right, at doodle.com. Okay, well, let's invite our next guest now. Again, I believe the company is pronounced GOQii.
GOQii, that's fair.
GOQii.
All right, we got validation.
Yeah, GOQii is dedicated to enabling a permanent shift to a healthier lifestyle with a combination of advanced wearable technology, the world's leading experts, coaches, and karma. GOQii focuses on sustained engagement and goal reinforcement and offers a complete ecosystem as a single integrated solution, which is a powerful combination of technology and human connection. GOQii is a collaboration of some of the world's leading experts and an amazing management team who are driven by a passion for healthy, sustainable living and who believe that all of us contain boundless potential. We do. Well, I see, Ben, I always thought you have boundless potential. You see, and then this is a bit.
See, but I'm fat, so my bounds are very, very short and very, very small. So I'm very low to the ground.
Yeah, I
which
see.
has its own merits.
Yeah. Well, GOQii's goal is to enable millions of people, across the world to be the force by helping them unleash their untapped potential. Now, there's a Star Wars metaphor in there somewhere, but it escapes me. Here with us to explain
something to do with the Force, I assume?
Yeah, something. Here with us to explain further is the CEO of GOQii, Vishal Gondal. Vishal, welcome into Computer America. How are you?
Hey, very good. How are you doing?
Thanks for being here with us. Welcome to the show. So, I kind of explained it. I got a lot of the information that in my introduction from your website. But why don't you tell our listeners a little bit of what GOQii is all about?
So essentially, what we found at GOQii was that while millions of people are trying to make changes in their lifestyle, whether it is losing weight or getting fit or making a transformation, the challenge was not information or knowledge. They could Google everything. They could go to any website and find out how can they be fit, how can they be healthy. The real problem which people were facing was the motivation or the accountability behind it. So what we at GOQii have done is we have combined wearable technology. So think of Fitbit, Jawbone, Apple Watch, all these wearable trackers which you can have, along with apps like Runkeeper, Strava. These apps are now using the GOQii platform connected to real fitness coaches. So these coaches are trained in nutrition, lifestyle, physical fitness, and various aspects. And they get your data and they chat with you and give you advice on the app itself. So the idea really is that the data at one end becomes noise, but that same data given to a fitness coach makes it really, really actionable and really, really effective. And that's what GOQii does. We combine your data with real coaches, and then this data is also combined with your karma, and that's the most fascinating aspect of GOQii. What we do is we convert your steps to what we call karma points, and these points can then be donated to charities. And we have tied up with Oxfam, which is one of the world's biggest charity organization. So the idea of GOQii is get fit, and while you're getting fit, donate your karma points and change the world and be the force of good, which is where the be the force metaphor comes about.
Okay. So when you say a coach, what do you mean by a coach? Is this a live human being?
These are live human beings, and as you say, they're across the U.S. And our coaches are certified by GOQii. They go through a certification process, and post the certification process, GOQii coaches get access to your data on their own dashboards, and they could be communicating with you via chat messages every day, and they also do monthly video calls with you to kind of understand your lifestyle in more detail.
Okay. So How many coaches does GOQii currently have in the U.S.?
So we are right now running a beta program in the US where we are testing the system out. So we have a few, maybe a little less than 20 or 30 coaches to start with. But as we scale, we are going to go to about 10,000 coaches. We already launched GOQii in India, which was about 6 months back as our first market. And in India, we already have over 10,000 users on GOQii already. So the scale has been already validated, and as we test out the system in the US, and in fact, we are right now running a beta program where we are signing only 500 users. And once our tests are over, we are looking at commercially launching later this year.
So, are there any other than the number? Are there any other details about the U.S. beta program? I mean, to sign up for it.
So people can go to us.goqii.com, and on there you can sign up, and we charge $99 for a year for the program, for the beta program. And at $99, they also get a free fitness wearable tracker. So it's a GOQii tracker which we give you. This is comparable to a Fitbit or a Jawbone. So you get a free tracker and you get 12 months of coaching. Apart from that, you're free to use any other tracker you have. So if you already have a Fitbit or a Jawbone lying around in your drawer somewhere, you can take it out and start using it.
So all you need is $99 to qualify, or is there some sort of qualification?
No, you have to apply. No, you have to apply. You have to give some details of your background and so on, and then we select you for the beta program.
Now, what kind of details do you ask? I mean, do you ask things like, do you have a heart condition? Are you taking? What do you ask?
I think the more reason we really want to understand is your background and your motivation to do this, because that's more important. We are certainly not a medical program. We're not giving people medical advice, so we don't really worry as much about any medical condition in that sense. However, our key goal is to make sure people have the right motivation to be part of GOQii.
Okay.
We don't want people who are just joining us for getting the free fitness tracker, for example. We want people who want to get the coaching.
Okay, so it's more than just the electronic tracker. It's the coaching, which really goes to the heart of the matter what you're doing there at GOQii.
That's correct.
So, what kind of success are you seeing with this in the U.S.? You mentioned 10,000 in India, which is really good. What's going on in the United States?
So in the United States, we just launched our beta program a month back. We already have a few hundred users on, and we're probably going to have another couple of hundred users coming on in the next month or so. What we are certainly seeing is, and comparing to the results, that it's really, really effective. And just to give you a small example, we know that there are millions of free fitness apps out there on Apple and Google and all these marketplaces. But at the same time, what is really effective is not these apps. These apps have a drop-off percentage of almost 99%. So ultimately, only 1% of the people end up using these apps. However, the most effective for you to meet your fitness goal is to work with a personal coach. But as you know, that is really expensive. And if you go to a good personal coach in the US, it may cost you as much as $99 an hour or even higher. So what GOQii at GOQii, what we have done is we've been able to combine the power of scale with an app, but also use a coach on the cloud, as we put it. So now you are able to get a lot of the effectiveness what a personal coach gives you on your app itself, which is why it is really disruptive, as we are able to combine both these forces. And this is exactly what happened in, for example, e-commerce. When you use Amazon or when you're using Uber, the whole idea of creating a platform which connects you to people who can help you deliver services is what is changing the entire scenario. And that's exactly what we are doing. So we have users who are running their first half marathons on GOQii. We have users who are losing a ton of weight on GOQii. We have users who are just simply wanting to manage a healthy lifestyle. So the goals could be very different, and when they sign up, they are asked about their goals, and then they are presented 5 coaches who meet their profile, and they can choose which coach they want to sign up. So it's not like you just work with any random coach. You are given a choice of coaches who are experienced in working around these various aspects of lifestyle. And one of the key focus for GOQii is about habit change. So we don't really focus a lot on giving you diets or exercises, but it's really about looking at habits and how some of these habits could be changed. And it could be ranging from you drinking more water, as because most of the people actually have lesser water than they should, to having more sleep. So these are various aspects of habits which GOQii coaches work with our users.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, it makes complete sense that, you hear so much about fitness apps nowadays that, there's this fitness app, that fitness app, and I think it's just what you said, where people, they said that they have a drop-off rate of about 99%. I think people jump from one to another, and then, like, whenever a new one comes to town, everyone jumps on the bandwagon and says, oh, this one will make you stick to it, this one will help you, this one's the best. And yet at the same time, really they're just kind of using it for a month and dropping off later. But, what it sounds like, kind of what you guys are offering, it's not exactly a fitness app, but it's just like you were saying, it's a coach. It's someone to tell you, hey, you didn't go for a walk today, maybe you should have done that. Hey, you only got 6 hours of sleep, try to shoot for 9. It's definitely a different kind of app than all the other apps out there that just say, hey, you ate too much, stop that. Like, it's different.
I think another aspect of GOQii is the entire gamification of what we are trying to do with the entire aspect of lifestyle. And this basically comes a little bit from my own background in games. In my past life, I used to run India's biggest games company called India Games, which I actually started when I was 16. So I've been a gamer all my life. And we ended up selling the company to Disney in 2012. So I was then with Disney for a year. But during this period of running my own games company, while I was extremely successful, what I figured out was my own lifestyle had taken for a beating. So while I was a very, very fit and athletic person in school, I was a national level volleyball player. I had become a volleyball myself, literally. And what I had to do was make my own lifestyle change. And like everybody else, I bought Fitbit, I bought Jawbone, I downloaded MyFitnessPal, and I used every possible app out there, but nothing tended to work. What worked was when I met a local coach in my neighborhood who essentially said, you know what, give me access to all your data and maybe I can tell you what you should be doing. And I literally gave him my login name and passwords. And he went and he used to literally email me every day, text me every day. To cut a long story short, by following a completely remote coach with giving him my data, I just finished running my 10th half marathon last month. I have done 4 ultra marathons, and I've been now trekking. Last year I was in Leh, and in fact next week I'm off to Nepal where I'm trekking in the Himalayas. So I was able to make an amazing lifestyle change by just having one new aspect in my life, which was a remote coach. And that's what gave me the idea that, hey, if this works for me, it could work for millions of people who are exactly facing the same problem of lack of motivation and accountability.
Yeah, I'm sure being a tech startup and being in the tech industry, you know the term. We're hearing it more and more these days. You eat your own dog food, and like you've actually used your product before, and I guess if you're looking for a success story, the guy at the top and the guy who started, that's a great place to be, to have your own success story.
Absolutely. And not just that, right? I mean, at gaming, we have techniques where we can make you addicted to playing Candy Crush and Angry Birds. And what we are now trying to do is use the same mechanics to get you addicted to eating green vegetables and drink more water and have more sleep. So it's not much different. It's really about using behavior science to motivate people to do the right behavior and not be just lazing around.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that what really makes GOQii unique compared to the other fitness brands like the Fitbit and what have you are the coaches. It's a live human being.
That's correct.
You're interacting with. What kind of relationship are GOQii users having with their coaches? What do you see happening here?
So what we are seeing is that, first of all, you have the same coach for the duration of your plan. So it's not like every day you're talking to a new coach. So clearly the relationship is very intimate. Your coach over a period of time knows a lot about your lifestyle, and they almost become like your friends rather than anybody else. And they are motivated to help you make a lifestyle change, because clearly, unlike, let's look at a gym model where typically when people want to be fit, they join a gym. But the problem of a gym is that the gym's business model does not want you to come back to the gym, because they only have 20 treadmills and they have sold 500 memberships. So if all 500 people turn up, there won't be any gym left. So their motivation for a lot of the fitness companies are not to drive engagement. However, at GOQii, our coaches are rated on the basis of their engagement levels with their users, as well as how effective the engagement is, where users can rate their coaches and provide feedback. Hence, the GOQii coaches are constantly working on making sure their users are meeting their goals, and hence getting more and more users on the system. So the system has been designed without any conflict in terms of helping the coaches as well as helping the users. Plus, the coaches themselves love GOQii. What we found out was that typically a fitness coach are very busy in the mornings and very busy in the evenings, and they have a huge downtime during the day because most of their clients are busy working in the offices or doing their daily work. However, at GOQii, since the entire system is based on chat, this is an asynchronous system where most of the chats happen during the day while the users are on the go, which is what gives the coaches an extremely amazing system to utilize their time and get more efficiencies out of it. Plus, coaches have data which they normally didn't have from their users. Normally, they used to just meet Joe in the gym and ask Joe that, hey, how was your week last, and how did you eat? And Joe would say some things. But now, Joe is actually updating his app with food information, water information. Joe is connecting other fitness apps to GOQii, like Strava if he's into cycling, or Runkeeper if he's into running. And all this data is flowing back to a coach, which was not happening in the past.
Yeah, there's something about immediacy. You know, when you kind of report back on your week, you just you can kind of gloss over things, and you can kind of be lenient about yourself because hey, it might be your memory that you might not remember. Hey, that extra 1,000 calories you somehow ate, but when it's daily, nightly, after every meal, I'm sure that has to lead to some kind of better success rate.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, again, we're talking about the GOQii and the wristband that you wear, and obviously, it allows you to interface with life coaches. They're currently in beta right now. For $99, you can give it a try. So you're saying that these relationships, we talked a little bit about the relationship between the users and the coaches. It's not always, it is or it is not always the same coach?
It is the same coach. I mean, unless the coach is sick or whatever reason is out of the system, but you would get the same coach throughout the term.
Well, that continuity is really a good thing, because obviously then you don't have to deal with a different person each and every time. They're going to kind of get to know what it is that you're about. How much personalization? I mean, how personal do they get, these coaches with their users?
So, see, personalization is the absolute key to GOQii's success and our coaching success, because the coaches are dealing with you one-on-one. It's not like they're talking to 20 people at the same time. They're talking to you at one point of time. And it's dealing with your own data. So if you have only walked 8,000 steps and only had 2 liters of water yesterday, they're going to talk to you about your goals and what you are doing. So it is extremely personal. And it gets more and more personal the amount based on what data you are sharing with your coach. In terms of food habits, in terms of other habits which we kind of cycle into. So the entire process of GOQii actually, and here is where I want to talk a little bit about the designers of GOQii. One of our leading designers or experts who came on board is Luke Coutinho, who is with University of Yale. He's a very, very professional nutritionist who worked on the entire nutrition plans for our coaches. We then have Dr. Kendra Barkell, who used to be with Stanford's Stealth Health Group, and she's a leading habit designer. So her entire goal was behavior design and habit design, and that's what our coaches get certified on. Plus, we have Dr. Nene, who is a leading cardiologist. So we have a whole lot of experts who have designed this program for them.
Sure. Now you mentioned karma points. And I always talk about, it's good to have good. It's a good thing to have good karma.
Well, yeah, you kind of mentioned the charity part of it, and like you hear karma, thrown around so often, and karma points especially, as a person who goes on Reddit, you hear all the time. But this is like as close to karma as you actually get, because they're points that you can actually do good stuff with, right?
That's correct. So what we saw was that one of the key things to motivation is intrinsic motivation. When you are doing something with let's say little lesser selfish intent. And we know that, from talking to extreme marathoners and racers who typically do this in support of either cancer or AIDS or something. When you look at professional marathon runners, they normally are supporting charities and causes, and a lot of people are doing that. And once they do that, it becomes that much more important for them to complete their race or marathon, which is why we saw that when this is true for marathon runners, but how can an average Joe do the same? You can't be running a marathon every day. However, you could be walking every day, and we could convert those points to points which can become a function of change. And that is what we really did with GOQii, wherein these points come into play, and then our karma points go to Oxfam, who is a donor, and they convert that to charity cash. So in a way, what you are doing is every day of your life is now committed to a cause or a charity of your choice, which you're working on with GOQii. And we are seeing this to be an extremely positive motivator for people who want to make lifestyle changes.
Okay, all right. Now, I understand you have charitable partners. What's that all about, and who are they?
So Oxfam is one of the global charities who works with us. They are based out of the UK, and they are, I think, in 27 countries. And Oxfam then works with a number of charities in different regions, supporting. They have an entire charity wing which is focused on poverty. There is a whole thing on kids' education, women's education. So there are various causes which are there. And right now, our biggest partner is Oxfam. We will be getting more charities on board later. While we are in beta, we are just working with Oxfam, but more and more charities will be soon listed on GOQii.
Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think any child should go to bed hungry or tired, cold, sick, that can't get health care. But if you throw a charity in there for dogs, I mean, I'll be all over that.
No, absolutely. So that's the whole idea, right? We will be getting more charities onboarded, and if you are really concerned about the welfare of dogs, you could do that. And now, not only that, you could link that to your own fitness goals, which makes it that much more rewarding for you to do that.
So let's talk a little bit about the band itself. I understand it tracks your activities and sleep, and it's got a touch OLED display, which looks really cool.
Correct.
Battery life. Yeah. Go ahead.
So the GOQii band, I'm wearing it. Let me just take this off. It's like any other fitness band. It comes with, so that's our touchscreen display, which I can play with, and I can move the entire thing. This actually pops out the module, and the module can then be used for, you can put it in your pocket or use it in other things. We have other kinds of straps. The device in itself is comparable to any Fitbit or Jawbone device. It tracks number of steps. It tracks the distance you have traveled. It tracks the amount of active time you spent in the day. Apart from that, it also tracks sleep. The only difference is we give this away for free because we believe what you really need is the coach. At the same time, we know there are millions of people who already have some kind of a fitness tracker. They could use their own trackers too, so they don't need to necessarily use the GOQii tracker. We are currently integrated with Garmin, Fitbit, Jawbone, Nike. We are about to integrate with the Apple Watch, with Google. So pretty much all major platforms will be integrated into GOQii. So what we believe is that, while everybody else can get all the sensors they want, and as you know, in Computer America, the world is going through a war of sensors where everybody wants to pack as many sensors on your wrist or on your hand or on your glass. GOQii's focus is only one sensor, which is common sense, which is what we bring on the table.
Well, okay. So basically, you're really more about the service because you work with all these other things. The idea here is that the next step up is that you're adding coaches into the equation, which you don't get with the other ones. So eventually, you work with the Apple Watch. You're going to work with all that. They're going to subscribe to the GOQii service, which gets you the coach, and I think that's actually a very interesting business model, and I think that you're really onto something interesting here because I don't know of anyone else who does that. Really.
No, I mean, we are really leading the charge on this front right now. I'm sure there'll be other companies following suit, but right now we are pretty much the guys leading this entire methodology of integration of technology and humans. Because at one end, there are companies who are saying you don't need humans, and we have our algorithms who are going to coach you, and there are these notifications who are going to tell you to do things. But what I realized was that if Siri tells you in her deepest voice that I love you, it means nothing versus the same 3 words coming to you from your wife, girlfriend, or daughter. Exactly the same reason when a coach tells you that, hey, Craig, I really want you to do something tomorrow, you are more likely to do it than an app sending you a notification to saying the same thing.
Well, Vishal, I'll tell you what, we're at the bottom of the hour. I want to just go over some final points with you. If you'd be so kind as to stay with us, and then we'll continue. Okay? You listen to the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network, on the IRN Radio Network. Ben and I are talking to the CEO and founder of GOQii, Vishal Gondal. We'll be right back with him. Another News Tips, Polls, and Review coming up as well. Brand new. Stay with us. Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. The mission of Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is to help build a sustainable, no-kill community where no dogs or cats are ever killed for population control, where true euthanasia is reserved only for animals who are irremediably suffering or for animals who are truly a threat to society and with no hope of rehabilitation. Brother Wolf staff and volunteers go door to door, neighborhood by neighborhood, to educate citizens about local resources available for at-risk pets and to help their families connect with those resources. Brother Wolf's community-based approach to no-kill helps keep family pets healthy, happy, and in their homes and out of the local shelter system in the first place. For more information or to make a tax-deductible donation to this wonderful 501c3 organization, visit their website at www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? Not so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they are available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
You found me. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time, the Ryobi P430G Buffer Polisher. Maintain, repair, and replace are the 3 choices we face all over the place in any workspace. So we got an Ryobi P430G 6-inch buffer polisher for review. It uses their new 1+ 18-volt battery system. When office furniture from desks to conference room tables start looking haggard, it's often enough to clean, apply some polish, and buff. And the faster that's over and done with, the more productive the rest of the day can be. This tool's extremely well-balanced rotating metal platter has a foam head affixed over which you tie a soft cloth bonnet to come with it. It has just one speed, roughly 4,000 RPM. Bottom line, the Ryobi P430G buffer polisher can add or restore a shine with reduced amounts of elbow grease. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Thank you, Marty Winston, for that News Tip Bulletin Review. Remember, though, that the Ryobi buffer does not make you buff. It buffs other things. You have to use something like GOQii to get buff. So, make sure. Thank you. That was a good tie-in. Thank you, Ben. Oh, no problem, Ben. Oh, wonderful. Anyways, welcome back to the Computer America Show.
I thought it was a bit of a stretch, but okay.
Whatever. Well, hey, you should always stretch before you exercise. Anyways, Vishal Gandala here is with us. He is the founder and CEO of GOQii, and we were just kind of gonna try to wrap it up. And so, I bet you've been making a lot of splash in around the media saying that, hey, we're gonna give out fitness apps, but giving away is one thing, and you can do charitable work. That's perfectly great, but those two things don't make a business model. So how exactly are you, and obviously the coaches, how exactly are you turning this into a business? What's the cost, and where does the revenue come from?
Yeah. So right now we are yet to determine our pricing in the US, which is why we are doing a beta to figure out engagement models and other things. However, we launched in India at a pricing of about $19 a month. So all a user has to do is pay about $19, and currently we don't offer monthly subscriptions. We offer 3, 6, and 12-month subscription plans. So you could sign up for either 3, 6, and 12 months and start working with a coach. We would probably do similar plans in the US, and I think in the next couple of months we will be coming up with a pricing plan. Looks like it'll be we want to make it affordable and mass affordable, so we may end up in the $20 to $30 range in the US too. So that's what you would pay monthly to access a fitness coach.
That is a great price point, because just like you were saying earlier, $99 an hour, especially if you go through some of the more expensive popular gyms, is not uncommon. And life coaches, they're not cheap. They definitely work. I mean, that's why they're in such high demand, and that's why they can charge so much. But $30 for a life coach is crazy good.
That's the plan.
Yep, exactly. Go ahead.
So as I was saying, right, the key thing for GOQii is to make this affordable for millions of users out there who really need the coaching. Currently, the problem is the people who really need the coaching can't afford to pay the $99 an hour, or a few $1,000s a month, depending on how many sessions you do. And people who really need it are going to solutions like fitness apps and wearables, which have very, very low effectiveness. As you know, there is data out there that people who buy a fitness tracker dump them in the next 2 to 3 months. So you wear it for a few weeks, and that's about it. And after that, most people dump the trackers themselves. So the problem is not really about data; it's about motivation, and that's really what we are trying to solve.
Well, okay, I'll tell you what. If people want more information, I guess they can go to your website and check it out for themselves. You have a really nice website, and it's us.goqii, GOQii.com. But you know what? Just go to computeramerica.com and go to the today's show notes. You'll see it there. We actually have a link in the second hour to the GOQii website, and that stays up there for all time, and so they can. You can check that out for yourself. And again, I really like the idea.
Thank you.
I really do. I think that it's quite different, and the fact that you have the human interaction, the coaches, I've not seen that anywhere else. And,
can't wait to see what you guys come up with out of beta. It's going to be exciting.
Exactly. Listen, I want to thank you for being with us here on the show tonight.
Thanks a lot.
Michelle, and best of luck to you. And we'll
Thank
have
you.
you back. Well, I'm sure we'll have you back again. Okay.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks, everybody.
And good luck in Nepal. Don't get eaten by anything.
No worries. Thank you.
All right. Good karma to you. All right. Bye-bye. All right. You're listening to the Computer America Show, and again, you can check all that out on our show notes page at thecomputeramerica.com. I think we should do some computer news, don't you?
I think so.
All right. Wait a minute. I have to say goodnight to Jack. Nah, I missed him. Okay. Let's do some news. Tonight's Computer and Technology News is brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. You can visit them at slimwareutilities.com to clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system for free. That's right. Everything at slimwareutilities.com is completely free. Check them out. They're completely useful. We use them here in our household. They truly will clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system. Go to that website. Go to the slimwareutilities.com website. Download them all. Yeah, hey, why not? It's free. And keep them because eventually you're going to want to use them or need them. And you'll be glad that you did. And you'll thank us for it. slimwareutilities.com. Now, there's a number of stories here.
Why yes, Craig? I will lead off. Thank you.
No, okay. If you want to, why don't you lead off? Okay.
Yeah. So for the first story, it's kind of hitting close to home here in that it is happening in Norway, but more to the fact that we are a radio show. We are the format of a radio show. We're on FM radio, and we have been for Craig. How old is the show?
We're going into our 23 years. We're going to be 24.
24 years. Good job. And February was 24th. Anyways, 24 years on the air. But we've seen it in the industry. We kind of get a little bit more behind the scenes of it. It's a dark, gritty place. Think setting of Batman. It's dark back here. But apparently in 2017. This is just signs, this is just a sign of the coming times because, we've seen transitions here over the last couple, over the last couple years and definitely the last couple decades. By 2017, Norway wants to be the first country to ditch FM radio entirely.
Wow.
Yep. So apparently, and this particular article that I'm kind of pulling the facts from is Ars Technica, Nathan Matisse, and apparently 2017 they want to go to a completely different model than FM radio, because right now FM radio can be heard nationwide. Like you can be anywhere and hear some form of FM radio, usually the pop songs and what have you, or the country stations. Sometimes talk, but that's more AM. We wish talk was on more stations, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. But, what are you going to do? And Norway, though, is kind of getting the hints that, hey, analog just isn't what it used to be. Cable television recently went digital across the U.S. But that was a sign of the times, and I think this is because over 50% of the radio listeners, or 50% of the people in Norway, already use some kind of digital alternative source. So, be it podcast, be it an internet stream, be it your iPod, what have you. FM radio, the ratings are in the dumps, and I guess the country doesn't want to. Continue on with, hey, we've been doing this for so long, let's keep doing it.
No.
In a place that is, kind of progressive, they want to do away with it entirely and just say, hey, you have access to as much media as you could ever consume on the internet. It's available nationwide. It's available countrywide.
Worldwide.
So go ahead and do that. You don't need radio anymore. We're going to take it out.
This is a validation to what I've been saying now for a number of years. and that is broadcast radio isn't what it used to be. I mean, we see this happening with newspapers. I mean, we see this tradition.
And although to be fair, someone in the chat room pointed out, and yes, I've been glossing over it, analog, so FM, AM radio, that's going away, but digital broadcast, that's what they're going to. So they're going to have different digital audio broadcasting coming up. So they're still going to have in your cars, but it's going to be like satellite, and it's going to be digital broadcasting. So not so much AM or FM anymore.
Again, this is what I've been saying for the longest time, is that this is sort of like records and traditional media that we've had. Broadcasting is just like newspapers. I mean, it's a dying industry. Newspapers are struggling to survive, and of course they are. A lot of them, the big ones, are making the leaps to the internet. The New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, the biggest ones. They all have interactive, up to the moment websites to keep them alive. Smaller newspapers are just dying left and right. They're either being absorbed by the bigger conglomerates, or they're just going away. It used to be you can make a wonderful living, being a newspaper columnist. Unless you're on the very, 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 very top, you can't anymore. Every radio broadcast that is worth anything at this point makes its sound available on the internet. They stream it, or they make archives of it, because quite frankly, it's like TV, live TV. Unless you're watching the news or something, or most shows, you don't watch them. Everybody has DVRs today, and you watch TV when you want. You time shift your programs to watch them whenever you want. Not very many people now watch live TV anymore. They watch what they want to watch when they want to watch it, and that's it. And radio is the same thing. It's basically going away. It's getting harder and harder. And this country saying that they're doing with it is just another way of saying the same thing. And
just to make some clarifications, apparently I've been outschooled in my own research. They're going to be using again digital audio broadcast. So it's kind of the same way, but your traditional AM FM radio that's in your 92 Chevy Blazer probably won't be able to pick it up. It has to have special receiver to actually pick it up, and it's going to be a higher quality. But and only about 50% of the car, no, only about 20% of the cars in Norway are equipped to actually pick this up. But they want to switch to completely digital instead of FM AM. So
we're seeing, remember the car that we had in Los Angeles that had the radio, so you could get the digital audio rather than the standard, so you can get different alternative programming. Where satellite radio in cars now is the thing, but and we're seeing more and more technologies that are leading to internet connection.
Yeah, and I think it's not as black and white, I think, as we painted it at the beginning of this little segment. Apparently radio is still here and it's still going, but it's definitely moving to digital. I think as soon as it moves to digital, it's going to move to a different format, because the formatting right now, I think the way that radio is going isn't exactly sustainable. It's not keeping up with the times. But at the moment, they're switching to digital, and that was a big story. So if Norway does it, you can definitely bet that America's probably going to implement this in, looking at my watch here, probably by the 2040s. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, exactly. But again, as I said,
AM FM is going to become a thing of the past before long.
I think you're right, and I've been saying it for quite some time now. Again, the fact that, remember, this is what happened with TV. Remember television? You used to have the radio, you had the antennas, the rabbit ears.
But you can still get a couple things on rabbit ears, but mainly it's all digital, and you have to go get special digital rabbit ears.
Right, exactly. TV is no longer, and it was just a matter of time before radio suffers the same fate, and it's going to be the same thing. This is what's going to happen.
But hey, yay, progress. So
yeah, it is in the name of progress, but I think it's right. All right, Ben and I are doing computer technology news and brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software computer in America. This story from Maximum PC from Paul Lilly. We've been speculating when Windows 10 is going to come out. And as you know, Microsoft's been kind of, coy about when they're going to actually have an actual release.
They've not been coy about the features and what's going to be in it and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely like, hey, this is what's going to be in it and it's awesome, but they've been coy about the release date.
Yeah, and evidently during an earnings call last week, AMD's CEO had a little slip. and evidently she said that Windows 10 is going to launch in just 3 months. Oops, I didn't. Did I say that? No, I didn't. But evidently she let that out, and so he's just kind of pointing out that here's somebody who's sort of in the know, and so if you do the math, I guess May, June, July. So it looks like the end of July is when we might expect to see Windows 10.
Which I think we talked about with not Mike Cermak, Michael something or other. We talked to some Mike on the show.
Mike Miller.
Michael Miller. Yes, we talked with him, and I think you and him agreed that it's going to be a late summer release date. So that lines up with it.
Well, this is just some more confirmation,
Yep.
And that I mean, the CEO of AMD that is a fairly.
Well, they can be wrong. People have been wrong before. They could push it back just a spider and push it back one day. But but I think it's a good mark for when the new operating system is going to come out.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. Maybe.
Yep. So let's see. Next story is we're going to talk about. Apparently Mattel wants to have kids 3D print their own toys. How lucky are they? Apparently there's a new self-heating coffee mug that I wanted to show to some people because they can't seem to drink their coffee fast enough. Mm-hmm. But I think instead we're going to do the IKEA concept kitchen. Yes. Because one of my favorite things about technology isn't so much, what's going on today. Well, don't get me wrong, what's going on with the latest iPhone or what's going on with the latest laptop is all very intriguing. It's not my favorite thing about technology. My favorite thing about technology is what's going to happen in 10 years. I mean, if you think back to what you were doing 10 years ago and then you said, hey, everything I'm doing on my desktop, I'm going to have it on a small device, thinner than a slice of bread, and I'm going to be able to put it in my pocket and walk around all day with it.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that man was insane.
Yes.
So looking 10 years in the future again, apparently is what IKEA is doing. And so this one from Engadget, John Fingus, and for IKEA, your future kitchen shouldn't just have the occasional smart appliance. It should be a technology hub. Apparently, they showed off the Concept Kitchen 2025 and includes tech and other helpful additions meant to save both time and resources. They highlighted, however, is the table for living. It packs a camera-equipped projector that both shows recipes on its surface and recognizes ingredients, giving you an idea of what to do. Of what to make with what you have on hand. There's an induction cooktop hidden on the table too, so you wouldn't have to run between counters to get the hot stew ready. Cool. It's just a vision rather than something you can actually buy. But all of IKEA's technology is realistic enough that you could find it in your home sometime within the next decade.
And they got a little movie here that they
they have a little movie. It's called The Table for Living, and it's very reminiscent of if anyone hasn't seen it. I think it's called Living with Glass or something like that.
Yes, the Corning makes that.
Corning put out a video. I want to say it's about 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
Kind of makes every single surface in your home a smart surface where it could show video. It could be an input for any kind of device in your home. It's along the same lines, and it's a table that IKEA wants to, or is again, this is the kitchen of 2025. This is not today. This is not tomorrow. This is not 5 years. This is 10 years down the road or more. And it's going to have a hidden cooktop. It's going to have
I want one.
yeah, it looks crazy cool.
Yeah.
It has a hidden cooktop. It has a recipe, it has a guide built into the table. It's like a connected, helpful workstation that even if you knew nothing about cooking, if you had something like this, I think anyone could be anyone could cook a meal. And not only that, it kind of shows you what you can do so nothing goes to waste, how to prepare it, that kind of thing. And it's kind of cool to think about now, but in 10 years, this could seriously be in homes, and no longer would you have to kind of say to yourself, man, what all I have here is a tomato, a head of lettuce, and a couple of screws. Like, it's going to tell you what you can make with those kind of things. I think that's one of the, it's futurology, but this is an actual video that you can go check out. Again, it's called A Table for Living. It's from IKEA, and you should definitely go check it out. But I thought that was really cool.
I think it was very cool. Listen, Jonathan Chatroom has a question for you that might benefit our listeners. He's looking to get another graphics card, and he's looking to spend about $350 at the most, and he's getting some help. What would you recommend? I know you have the Titan 10 now, but you've been playing with all kinds
Titan
of
X. Why do you keep saying 10?
The Titan X, yeah, exactly. What would you suggest to Jonathan?
If he has the motherboard to support it, and I'm pretty sure he has a desktop if he's asking for upgrade choices, if he has a graphics card already that can run it decently well, he could always buy a second one of the same caliber. If he has, let's say, an NVIDIA 870, he can go and buy an NVIDIA GTX 870, like a second one, get an SLI cable, and it would be, that would just increase the bandwidth without really costing too much. Because if it's, if he has a graphics card and he's willing to push out for a second one,
yeah,
I think that's going to be the cheaper option than going out and getting a much more powerful one, because he would then just be throwing out his old one and saying, okay, well, whatever that was, and then let's go get a $700 or $800 graphics card. That might not be as much of a boost as just another second graphics card that he currently has, and slapping that in there. So maybe a second one, but it sans that, anything GTX 970, 960, 980 from NVIDIA, they're all really good and can probably run that pretty high. And AMD equivalent, go for it. Though I will say I've seen some of because he's talking about Grand Theft Auto 5. He wants to run that on higher settings. And I've seen some of the gaming rigs because GTA 5 recently came out for PC. I've seen some of the gaming rigs that some of the gaming websites have put out their benchmarks on, and they want to show off GTA 5 in 4K resolution and that kind of thing. I can't even begin to tell you how much these systems would cost. Like, some of them are running 4 Titan X's. Some of them are running 2 Titan X's with the latest Intel processor. These are, probably somewhere between $3,000 to $7,000 gaming rigs that are running these ultra high setting on GTA 5. So, like, he's talking about GTA 5. It runs on decent settings. If your computer can handle GTA 5 on decent settings, you have a decent computer already. Extremely high settings is going to cost you an arm and a leg. So you're trying to reach that goal, but right now that goal, everyone's trying to hit it, and it's very, very expensive to hit. So.
Well, it's a good suggestion. We're getting some controversy. Lunchy in there feels that that it's glitchy in SLI in some games, even if the game supports it. That's what he's saying.
Well, you can kind of tinker in the background of your computer. It doesn't even have to be. Well, actually, most modern games nowadays support SLI, but you can tinker with it behind the game so that your computer just does it naturally. But either second graphics card or a better one somewhere, just like you said, in the 960, 970, 980 range is your second best bet.
Okay. All right, well, that about wraps it up here on the show. Again, I want to thank Doodle's CEO Michael Brecht for being here with the first hour, telling us all about it. And of course, in the second hour, we had GOQii. And again, you can check it out. Thanks to both of them for being here. Tomorrow night's just going to be very interesting. In the first hour of the program, we're going to do computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. But in the second hour, we're going to have the company called Stratos. And they are going to talk about something called the Stratos card. This is very, very cool. This is a credit card sized card that has the inner workings of being the one card that can kind of replace all the cards you have. I know we've heard this before, but it's
90 seconds.
It's electronic. It works with cards with magnetic stripe, any kind of a terminal with magnetic stripe readers. But the point is, you can store all your cards in this one card. It has an NFC capability in it, near-field communications. You can do scans. It is just an amazing little device. And we're going to have them on the second hour of the show. Again, the Stratos card going to be. We're going to have the co-founder and CEO of Stratos Card on the program. This is going to be a really, really interesting program.
60 seconds.
Again, thank you all for joining us here tonight. Again, don't forget that our contests are at full swing at computeramerica.com. Just go to our homepage, click on our pull-down menu. It's under Interacts. It's Enter Contest. We have a Logitech contest where we're giving away those 3 great prizes from Logitech: the mouse, the webcam, and the X300 Bluetooth wireless speaker valued at $70. We give away 3 of those. The entry form is right on the Logitech page. So just fill it out, enter it in, and you might win something really, really nice. So that wraps it up, and we'll see you tomorrow night. So until tomorrow night, this is Craig Crossman, hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, everybody. Again, thanks for watching us on the Live Computer America video stream page. And we will see you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.
Hi, everyone.